For decades, Linux users have argued over one question more than almost anything else in the open source world: which Linux distribution is the best? Some swear by Arch Linux because of its customization and bleeding-edge packages. Others defend Debian for its legendary stability. Ubuntu fans love simplicity and support. Fedora users praise cutting-edge innovation. And Gentoo enthusiasts enjoy complete control over every compiled package. Each distro has its own philosophy, strengths, weaknesses, package managers, repositories, desktop environments, and communities. But what if you never had to choose again? What if one operating system could combine the best parts of every Linux distribution into a single unified environment? That idea sounds impossible at first, almost like science fiction for Linux enthusiasts. Yet there is a project that attempts exactly that. It is called Bedrock Linux, and it may be one of the most fascinating operating systems ever created in the Linux ecosystem. At first glance, Bedrock Linux does not look like a traditional Linux distribution. It does not compete directly with Ubuntu, Fedora, Arch, or OpenSUSE in the normal sense. Instead, Bedrock Linux acts more like a meta-distribution, a framework that allows users to merge multiple Linux distributions together into one operating system. Imagine running Arch Linux packages, Debian stability, Ubuntu drivers, and Gentoo customization all at the same time on one installation. That is the core idea behind Bedrock Linux. It breaks one of the oldest assumptions in Linux computing: the idea that your computer must belong to only one distribution at a time. To understand why Bedrock Linux is so unique, you first need to understand how Linux distributions normally work. Every Linux distro shares the same kernel foundation, but everything above the kernel can vary dramatically. Different distros use different package managers, release cycles, repository structures, file arrangements, libraries, initialization systems, and desktop configurations. Normally, these ecosystems remain isolated from one another. If you install Ubuntu, you use apt packages from Ubuntu repositories. If you install Arch Linux, you use pacman packages from Arch repositories. Crossing those boundaries usually creates instability and dependency conflicts. Mixing packages from different distributions is considered dangerous because libraries may clash in software, may expect different versions of system components. Bedrock Linux approaches this problem from a completely different angle. Instead of trying to force all distributions into one repository or one package manager, Bedrock isolates each distribution into its own compartment while still making them cooperate seamlessly. These compartments are called strata. Each stratum contains a full Linux distribution environment. One stratum might contain Arch Linux. Another could contain Debian. Another might contain Fedora or Void Linux. Bedrock then creates a unified interface that allows software from all these strata to coexist and interact, as if they were part of one operating system. This means you could use Arch Linux for gaming because it has the latest Mesa drivers and graphics packages, while simultaneously using Debian for servers and stable applications, all on the same system. You could install software using pacman, apt, dnf, xbps, or any other package manager without needing separate virtual machines or containers. Too many Linux enthusiasts. This sounds like a dream come true because it removes one of the biggest frustrations in Linux computing: compromise. Every Linux distribution involves trade-offs. If you choose Ubuntu, you get ease of use, but sometimes outdated packages. If you choose Arch, you get cutting-edge software, but potentially less stability. Fedora provides innovation, but moves quickly. Debian provides reliability, but often ships older versions of applications. Gentoo offers customization, but demands time and expertise. Bedrock Linux says you should not have to sacrifice one advantage for another. Instead, it lets you combine them all together. The process of setting up Bedrock Linux is also different from a normal distro installation. Typically, users begin with a base Linux distribution, sometimes called the hijack distro. Bedrock then transforms that existing installation into a Bedrock environment. Afterward, users can add additional distributions as strata. This transformation process effectively converts the original distro into part of a larger multi-distribution ecosystem. One of the most fascinating aspects of Bedrock Linux is how transparent it feels once configured correctly. Applications from different distributions can appear side by side in menus. Commands from one distro can run alongside commands from another. To the user, it often feels like a single coherent system, even though underneath it is made of multiple Linux worlds stitched together carefully. Imagine launching Firefox installed from Arch Linux while running Blender from Debian and compiling software using Gentoo tools. Normally, this would require containers, virtual machines, or multiple operating systems installed separately. Bedrock allows it all inside one desktop session. It essentially turns Linux distributions into modular components rather than mutually exclusive choices. Of course, creating such a system is incredibly complicated. Linux distributions were never designed to coexist in this way. Bedrock Linux achieves its magic through deep manipulation of file system paths, symbolic links, environment variables, process handling, and command routing. It creates abstraction layers that determine which distribution handles which command or application. The engineering behind this project is astonishing because it bends Linux conventions without completely breaking compatibility. One particularly interesting feature is command delegation. In Bedrock Linux, users can specify which distro should handle certain commands. For example, you might prefer Arch Linux for development tools because of its newer packages, while preferring Debian for system utilities because of stability. Bedrock can route commands intelligently between strata. This gives users granular control over their environment in ways impossible on traditional systems. Another huge advantage is package availability. Linux users often struggle when software is unavailable or outdated in their chosen distribution. Bedrock dramatically reduces this problem because users can simply install the application from another distro's repositories. If Ubuntu lacks the newest package version, maybe Arch has it. If Arch packages feel unstable, perhaps Debian provides a safer alternative. Bedrock transforms the Linux ecosystem into one massive software library. This flexibility makes Bedrock especially appealing to power users, developers, Linux enthusiasts, and experimenters. People who constantly distro hop may find Bedrock particularly attractive because it offers access to multiple ecosystems simultaneously. Instead of reinstalling operating systems repeatedly, users can integrate favorite features from many distros into one environment. However, Bedrock Linux is not perfect, and it certainly is not for everyone. In fact, it may be one of the most advanced and potentially confusing Linux projects available today. Its very flexibility that makes it exciting also creates complexity. Troubleshooting problems can become significantly harder because issues may involve interactions between multiple distributions rather than one isolated environment. For beginners, this can quickly become overwhelming. Traditional Linux distributions already require some technical knowledge. Bedrock adds another layer of abstraction that assumes users understand Linux internals reasonably well. Concepts like shared libraries, file system hierarchy, shell environments, and dependency resolution become more important when multiple distros are interacting together. There are also compatibility concerns. Not every Linux distribution works perfectly under Bedrock. Some distros integrate more cleanly than others. Certain applications may behave unpredictably when crossing distribution boundaries. Some package managers assume exclusive control over system resources, which can create edge cases Bedrock must carefully handle. Performance is another interesting topic. Surprisingly, Bedrock Linux is often lighter than running multiple virtual machines or containers because it operates directly on the host system without virtualization overhead. Applications run natively, sharing the same kernel. This means users can achieve multi-distribution flexibility without sacrificing significant system performance. Still, there are trade-offs. The complexity of the system may increase maintenance requirements. Updates across multiple distributions can occasionally introduce conflicts. Debugging becomes more difficult because problems may originate from interactions between strata. Documentation can also be less extensive compared to mainstream distributions because Bedrock serves a niche audience. Yet despite these challenges, Bedrock Linux represents something deeply important in the Linux world. It challenges assumptions about what an operating system can be. Most operating systems enforce rigid boundaries. Windows is Windows. macOS is macOS. Even Linux distributions traditionally exist as separate identities. Bedrock questions whether those boundaries are necessary at all. In many ways, Bedrock reflects the philosophy of Linux itself: freedom, customization, experimentation, and user control. Linux has always been about empowering users to shape their computing experience. Bedrock pushes that philosophy to an extreme level by allowing users to build personalized hybrid systems unlike anything else in computing. The project also highlights how modular Linux truly is beneath the surface. Since all distributions ultimately share the Linux kernel, the differences between them mainly exist in userland tools, repositories, configurations, and package ecosystems. Bedrock exploits this modularity brilliantly. It treats distributions almost like interchangeable building blocks. This concept becomes even more powerful when you think about the future of Linux computing. As Linux continues evolving across servers, desktops, gaming devices, cloud infrastructure, and embedded systems, flexibility becomes increasingly valuable. Users want stable systems, but also access to modern software. Developers need compatibility across ecosystems. Enterprises require reliability, while developers demand cutting-edge tools. Bedrock offers one possible vision of solving these competing demands. The rise of technologies like containers and immutable operating systems also makes Bedrock especially interesting in today's landscape. Modern Linux is increasingly moving toward modular and layered architectures. Flatpak, Snap, Docker, Podman, and immutable distributions like Fedora Silverblue all explore ways to separate applications from traditional system constraints. Bedrock fits naturally into this trend, though it approaches the problem differently. Instead of isolating applications completely like containers, Bedrock integrates entire distributions together cooperatively. It is less about sandboxing and more about federation. This makes it feel simultaneously futuristic and deeply rooted in traditional Linux philosophy. Gaming enthusiasts also find Bedrock intriguing. Linux gaming has improved massively thanks to Proton, Steam Deck, Mesa drivers, Vulkan support, and better GPU compatibility. However, gamers still face distro-related compromises. Some distributions offer newer drivers while others provide stability. Bedrock allows gamers to pull gaming-related packages from bleeding-edge distros while maintaining stable environments elsewhere. Developers benefit greatly as well. Software development often requires tools from different ecosystems. One project may work best on Debian, while another requires Arch packages. Normally, developers solve this using containers or virtual machines. Bedrock provides another option by integrating multiple development environments directly into one operating system. The learning experience of using Bedrock Linux can also be incredibly educational, because users interact with multiple Linux ecosystems simultaneously. They naturally gain deeper understanding of package management, system architecture, dependency handling, shell environments, and Linux internals. It exposes how different distributions solve problems differently. For distro enthusiasts, Bedrock can feel almost addictive. Linux users often spend years hopping between distributions searching for the perfect balance. One week, they love Arch, the next week, they move to Fedora, then Debian wins them back. Bedrock essentially says you do not need to stop exploring. You can combine your favorite aspects instead of choosing permanently. At the same time, Bedrock also demonstrates why Linux diversity is both a strength and a weakness. The fragmentation of Linux creates innovation and choice, but it also creates compatibility, challenges, and duplicated effort. Bedrock embraces diversity rather than fighting it. Instead of unifying Linux by standardization, it unifies Linux through coexistence. This idea may sound chaotic, but it mirrors broader trends in computing. Modern systems increasingly rely on interoperability rather than rigid uniformity. AP is connect services. Containers, package applications independently. Cross-platform frameworks, bridge ecosystems. Bedrock applies similar thinking to Linux distributions themselves. Still, Bedrock Linux remains a niche project. Most Linux users will probably never install it. Many users simply want a stable operating system that works without complexity. Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Fedora, and similar distributions serve that audience extremely well. Bedrock appeals to a different kind of user, the experimenter, the tinkerer, the enthusiast who enjoys pushing systems beyond conventional limits. That niche status also gives Bedrock a certain mystique within the Linux community. It feels almost like an underground project, known mainly by advanced users and hardcore enthusiasts. People who discover it often react with disbelief, because the concept seems impossible until they see it functioning. The community surrounding Bedrock Linux is smaller than mainstream distributions, but it is passionate and technically skilled. Users often share creative setups, combining unusual distribution mixtures tailored for specific workflows. Some prioritize stability, others optimize for development environments. Some create ultra-lightweight systems, while others focus on gaming or multimedia production. One particularly fascinating aspect is how Bedrock changes the psychological relationship users have with distributions. Traditionally, choosing a distro becomes almost tribal within Linux culture. Users identify strongly with Arch, Debian, Fedora, Ubuntu, or Gentoo communities. Bedrock softens those boundaries. It encourages users to appreciate strengths across ecosystems instead of treating distributions like competing teams. This philosophical shift may be one of Bedrock's most important contributions. It reminds users that distributions are tools, not identities. Each distro solves problems differently, and sometimes the best solution involves combining approaches rather than declaring one universally superior. The existence of Bedrock Linux also demonstrates the incredible creativity within open-source development. Commercial operating systems rarely allow such radical experimentation because they prioritize controlled user experiences. Linux, by contrast, empowers developers to reinvent foundational assumptions about operating systems themselves. Bedrock exists because Linux is open, modular, and flexible enough to permit these experiments. Looking toward the future, it is unclear whether Bedrock Linux itself will ever become mainstream. Probably not. Its complexity alone limits mass adoption, but the ideas it explores could influence future operating system design. The notion of modular operating systems assembled dynamically from multiple ecosystems may become increasingly relevant as computing environments grow more diverse. Even today, we already see hints of this future. Modern Linux users increasingly mix package formats, repositories, containers, and application ecosystems together. Flatpak apps coexist with native packages. Docker containers run development environments. Cloud-native architectures separate services into modular components. Bedrock extends this philosophy to the entire operating system level. Ultimately, Bedrock Linux is less about replacing traditional distributions and more about expanding what Linux can be. It transforms Linux distributions from isolated operating systems into collaborative modules. It challenges the assumption that one distro must provide every solution. Instead, it creates a world where distributions can cooperate, complement each other, and coexist harmoniously. For some users, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. For others, it sounds revolutionary. But regardless of whether someone actually installs Bedrock Linux, the project forces an important realization. Operating systems are not fixed, immutable entities. They are collections of design choices, abstractions, and components that can be rearranged in surprising ways. Bedrock Linux stands as proof that even after decades of Linux development, there are still radically new ideas waiting to be explored. In a world where many operating systems feel increasingly locked down and controlled, Bedrock represents the opposite spirit entirely. It is messy, ambitious, experimental, and wonderfully unconventional. It embraces the chaos of Linux diversity and turns it into a feature instead of a problem. And maybe that is why Bedrock Linux fascinates so many people. It is not merely another Linux distribution competing for users. It is an entirely different way of thinking about operating systems themselves. Instead of asking which Linux distro is best, Bedrock asks a more interesting question. What if all of them could work together?